My beloved child, there is a hard truth you must know. I want you to prepare your heart for what is coming. You cannot avoid it, cannot turn your face away, for this is an essential part of the journey I am leading you through. There are things in life that must be faced with courage, with acceptance free from bitterness, and this is one of them. Do not stop reading this message, for within it lies a blessing meant for you. You must understand that the calling I have placed upon your life is neither shallow nor fleeting. It is a sacred invitation, a purposeful design within my greater plan. But to step into it, you must be willing to make sacrifices. Not everything will be easy. Not every dream will unfold the way you expect. There will be seasons when you feel alone, misunderstood, even rejected. There will be moments when it feels as if the whole world has turned its back on you. And in that very moment you will have to choose to remain with me or to abandon the journey, because nothing seems clear anymore. Do you hear the earth sighing? Can you feel the faint heartbeat of life slowly fading beneath the hands of humankind? Humanity has strayed painfully far from the truth. They have lost their way, no longer recognizing the path of light I once laid before them in love and eternal life. They are not lost due to lack of guidance. They are lost because they have chosen to turn away from truth, the light that once shone brightly in their souls. The light that radiated from my very presence has now become a dim flicker in the thick fog of deceit, greed, and pride. Humanity has shut the door to grace with their own hands, placing their trust in illusions of their own making. Lies are no longer rare, they have become the common language of everyday life. From the highest seats of power to the most ordinary places, truth is twisted, exchanged, and sold like a cheap commodity. People no longer feel shame in deceit. Instead, they praise this distorted cleverness as if it were a sign of wisdom and success. Oh, my child, when lies become the foundation for every decision, every system humanity builds is nothing more than a castle built on sand. Though it may appear solid on the outside, it decays and crumbles from within. The institutions of man, politics, economics, education, no longer serve justice. They have become tools that feed the powerful and make the rich even richer. The righteous are pushed aside, and the voice of truth is drowned in the noise of ambition and pride. Bottomless greed has driven people to trade their conscience for fleeting moments of power. They build empires on the blood and tears of the vulnerable, never once turning back to see the destruction left in their wake. They close their eyes to the suffering of their fellow man, plug their ears to the cries of abandoned souls, and harden their hearts against the anguish that groans all around them. The earth, the silent witness to all I have created, weeps, screams, and groans under the weight of the sins committed by humankind. Every polluted river is a tear of nature. Every forest burned to ashes is an unspoken cry of sorrow. Every extinct creature is a bleeding wound in the body of creation. Mother Earth, once a symbol of abundant life, has now become a battlefield of greed and destruction. Can you feel my heartbeat, my beloved one? My heart is breaking as I watch humanity bury itself in destruction. They chase fleeting shadows, believing these will satisfy the hunger within. Yet the more they pursue, the deeper they sink into the abyss of loneliness and emptiness. They have traded divine light for a false freedom, which is nothing more than gilded chains forged by darkness. My child, I still see the souls who carry the flame, but they are as rare as small lanterns in a desert night. I have not left them. I never do. But they have slowly drifted away from me. They choose the noise of the world over the whisper of the Holy Spirit. They choose to walk the path of the many rather than go against the tide to uphold truth and righteousness. O my child, the greatest sorrow is not destruction, but indifference. Humanity does not merely sin, they have grown used to living in sin. They are not merely lost, they have come to see lostness as normal. They have not only abandoned the light, they no longer wish to find it. This is the greatest tragedy of the age. A world that is blind, yet believes it sees clearly. Each passing day brings time closer to its end. The door of grace is still open, but not forever. I am shaking the nations, stirring hearts, through events, through awakenings, through signs. I do not warn to destroy, but to awaken. Yet man, in his blind pride, treats my words as a passing breeze, paying no heed. They are building a modern-day Tower of Babel, not with bricks and mortar, but with technology, reason, and pride. They believe they no longer need me, that they are wise enough to steer their own destiny. Yet in that very independence, they have lost the meaning of existence, and their souls have become empty, cold. My beloved, do not let your heart grow cold like the world outside. Hold on to the light, even if only a flicker, for that light can rekindle the fire humanity has forgotten. Live as one who keeps the lamp burning through the darkest night, as one who breathes on fading embers in the ashes. Be the one who stands at the edge of the abyss and still looks upward, believing in the light that comes from the Most High. I know it will pain you to witness such ruin, but it is in that very pain that you will come to know my heart. And in that anguish, I will use you as a vessel of hope, even if only for one soul lost in the dark. My child, do not be afraid. Though the world is drowning in darkness, my light will never fade. Though lies spread like wildfire, truth still lives in the hearts of the faithful. Though the earth groans, I am preparing a restoration, not one that comes from man, but from me, the Creator of all things. Stand firm, for the time is near, and those who remain faithful to the end shall see my glory, more radiant than anything they have ever known. O my child, keep listening. Do not let the noise of the world drown out my voice within you. I am still speaking, not through thunder, but through the gentle whisper in the midnight hour. Let those who have ears hear, let those with hearts open wide. For I am coming, not delayed, and what I have begun I will surely complete. My child, even though my heart is breaking, my voice still thunders, louder than ever, for the great purification is drawing near, and it can no longer be delayed. The breaking will not be to destroy, but to bring forth rebirth. The shaking will not be for vengeance, but to awaken hearts that have long slumbered beneath a shell of falsehood. The wind from heaven will no longer be a gentle breeze, it will be a storm, sweeping away all that was built on. There will be no room for compromise, no room for hearts torn between light and darkness. The time has come for all things to be brought into the light. The walls mankind has built to conceal deception, the masks of hypocrisy, the seemingly unshakable facades of fame and power, will no longer stand. All shall collapse, for their foundations are not laid upon the rock, but upon the dust of pride and selfishness. I will cause the truth to speak, no longer stifled, no longer chained. Words once buried shall rise again. What has been hidden in darkness will be dragged into the light of day. What people have tried to forget will return like a trumpet call to awaken the soul. No one can flee from my gaze, my child. No one can hide their heart behind a false smile or polished words. I do not judge by outward appearance. I look straight into the depths of the soul, where truth cannot be disguised. And I have seen souls once radiant, now hardened, numbed by the coldness of indifference. I have seen hearts once humble, now swelling with pride, believing they no longer need me. I have seen hands once raised in prayer, now busy hoarding wealth and power, only to lose their very souls. My child, they have forgotten the origin of love, true love, not the kind wrapped in selfish desire, but the love that bows low, that forgives, that gives and accepts loss for the sake of another. They no longer remember that humility is the most precious jewel of the soul, for the voice of ambition has drowned out the whisper of compassion. They have built altars to the self and forgotten me, the one who formed them with the breath of my love. Now, the hour of cleansing has come, not to unleash wrath, but to purify, to wash away all that has decayed. For only when the weeds are uprooted to their roots can the seeds of life truly sprout and bear lasting fruit. I do not rejoice in suffering, but I know sometimes suffering is the only road to redemption. Beloved child, listen deeply to me. In this cleansing, I am calling each soul by name. I am not looking for the perfect, for no one is perfect, but I am seeking the sincere. Those who know how to kneel, how to weep in repentance, how to cry out, Lord, I need you. These will be the seeds of restoration. They will be the light in the darkness, the salt of the earth, the fresh breath for a world suffocating in its own corruption. Do not be afraid, my child. Even if all things fall apart, do not tremble, for my hand is still holding you. I will guard those who belong to me. I will hide them under the shadow of peace. In the midst of the storm, they will stand firm, not because of their own merit, but because they stand on my eternal promise. Prepare your heart. Cleanse your soul from anything that draws you away from me. Let me purify you before you are sent. The world does not need more hollow words. It needs hearts that live truthfully, that love truly, forgive fully, and fight faithfully for what is right. Carry within you the pain I carry, so you may understand every sigh of the wandering souls. Intercede for them, not with lips alone, but with tears and wholehearted surrender. For every soul that is saved is not only a victory for heaven, but also a piece of healing for this broken world. The time is drawing near, my child, a time when all things will be tested by fire, not the fire of punishment, but the fire of purification, of truth, of returning, and those who stand firm in love, those who walk humbly in the light, will not only endure, but be renewed within that very fire. Year after year, I have never ceased to hope. Century after century, my arms have remained open, waiting for humanity to recognize how lost they have become. I have never stopped sending them warnings, through calamities, through my chosen ones, through nature itself, groaning in travail. I have reached out to their hearts in dreams, in quiet moments when they stand alone and face themselves. But my child, their hearts have turned to stone. They have let their souls grow so cold that they no longer tremble before words of true love. Their ears have grown deaf to the wisdom that comes from me, because they have grown accustomed to the noise of a world full of deception and vanity. Instead of returning, they press forward toward the abyss, like drunkards who believe themselves sober. They reject the light and choose darkness, as if it were their most loyal companion. They no longer call me Father, no longer see me as their guide, but worship idols fashioned by their own hands: power, wealth, beauty, fame, things that promise happiness but leave only emptiness. And in that emptiness they build kingdoms full of pride, yet void of soul. I have remained silent for a long time, not because I am powerless, not because I do not care, but because I desired to give them time to turn back, to reflect, to realize their need for salvation. Yet instead of awakening, they have used my patience to continue spreading evil. They have mistaken my silence for approval. They think no one is watching, no one is judging, and so they feed the darkness in their hearts as if it were normal, even boasting in their twisted wisdom. My child, that time has now come to an end. The hour of righteousness has arrived. What was hidden will be exposed. Every lie, no matter how cunningly woven, will be torn apart by my hand. No one will escape. Every soul will face what they have nurtured in the shadows. Every thought, every deed, every seemingly small choice that has left deep imprints upon the spiritual realm. I will no longer permit deception to reign. The masquerade of the world has reached its final act, and the light of truth will shine upon every shadow, every mask. They have lived as though there would be no reckoning. They thought of me as a distant memory, an outdated idea, unfit for their modern age. But now they will know that I am the Eternal One, the one who still holds all things together, the one whose eyes have never looked away from mankind, even though my heart has been shattered time and time again by their betrayal. My beloved child, I know these words weigh heavy on your soul. I do not ask you to rejoice in the coming judgment, but you must understand, justice is essential for true healing. There can be no peace if evil is not restrained. There can be no light if darkness is not driven back. Lies have become part of many people's very nature, not just in how they speak, but in how they live, how they love, how they treat one another. They no longer discern what is real and what is false, for they have chosen deceit as their daily garment. But I am the one who sees all. I see injustice buried beneath false smiles. I hear the cries of souls crushed beneath the greedy hands of the powerful. I feel every silent tear of those who have been forgotten. And now I will act, not for vengeance, but to restore holy order, not out of wrath, but because I love too deeply to stand by while corruption spreads like a plague. You will witness proud kingdoms crumble. You will see monuments of arrogance shattered. And in the great storm of truth, only those who are humble, those who have kept the pure flame burning within their hearts, will be able to stand firm. Be one of them. Keep your heart tender before me. Do not let bitterness take root when the world around you is shaking. My child, you are not here by accident. You are not a blade of grass tossed by the wind, nor a flickering lamp about to go out. You are the one I have chosen, born for such a time as this, fashioned to carry within you a sacred mission amidst the whirlwind of corruption. You have been called out from the crowd, marked by a seal no one else bears, the ability to see what others overlook, to hear the whisper of truth amid the screams of deceit, and to feel the heartbeat of true life in a world slowly dying of apathy. You are the one I have prepared, not only through blessings, but through trials, sorrow, and the quiet breaking of your spirit. Everything you have endured has shaped you, deepening your heart, sharpening your sight, and strengthening your soul so you might stand firm in the fiercest of battles, the battle between light and darkness within the hearts of men. This world, as you can see, is collapsing from within. Values once held sacred are now dismissed, even mocked. Sincerity is exploited, kindness is seen as weakness, and faith, the sacred flame that once guided generations, is now being extinguished by a storm of doubt and pride. In the midst of this, you are called not to run or remain silent, but to rise and bear witness with your very life. You don't need to shout in the public square, nor be praised from a lofty stage. What I ask of you is a quiet yet unshakable faithfulness. Hands ready to lift the fallen. Eyes that do not look away from injustice. A heart large enough to love even those who have lost their way. Because light doesn't need to blaze to overcome darkness. It only needs not to go out. You are chosen to be a bearer of truth, not the kind that is comfortable or easy to hear, but the kind as sharp as a sword, able to wound but also to heal. Truth that forces people to face themselves, to pause in their frantic pursuits, and to ask, what am I really living for? You will not be welcomed by all. Many will oppose you, misunderstand you, even despise you, not because you are wrong, but because they are not yet ready to face the truth that you carry. And child, the days ahead will not be lined with roses. There will be nights when pain is your only companion, mornings when you wake with the question of whether you're still on the right path. There will be moments when you feel small amidst the roaring waves and want to give it all up. But remember this: no storm can extinguish the flame that I myself have lit within you. I have promised, and my word is eternal. I will never leave you. I will be with you, not merely as one who watches from afar, but as a father who holds your hand when you are weak, as a friend who lays a hand on your shoulder when you are weary, and as a gentle wind whispering in your ear when you feel like giving up. Keep going. You are still being led. There will be moments when you cannot feel me, as if I am silent amid the storm within your heart. But it is in that silence that I am working. I am clearing a path within your soul, building things far greater than what the eye can perceive. Never mistake my silence for absence. I have never and will never abandon you. My love does not change with time or circumstance. It is the solid foundation upon which you can lay your entire life. You were not created to be swept away by the current of the drifting crowd. You were born to shape a new current, a current that awakens, revives, and reveals truth. And even if you see yourself as just a tiny drop of water, remember, even a drop can send ripples that shake the ocean, if it falls at the right moment, in the right place. The world needs you, not the you of yesterday, burdened by fear and self-doubt, but the you of today, who is beginning to grasp the weight of the calling placed upon you. I see the strength within you, even when you cannot. I see the light in you, even when you feel like only ashes remain. And I call you, not because you are perfect, but because you have a heart ready to be transformed, to become an instrument in my hand. And I call you, not because you are perfect, but because you have a heart ready to be transformed, to become an instrument in my hand. My child, Never underestimate the worth of a faithful heart. In an age where the world praises false wisdom, it is loyalty, patience, and simple faith that are rare jewels in my eyes. You do not need to do something grand to be loved by me, for my love is not measured by accomplishments, but by a heart that listens and obeys. And you, yes you, are a living testimony to that truth. Stand firm even when the storm roars. Keep your heart pure, even in a world covered in dust. Believe that every time you choose truth, you are laying a stone for an unshakable kingdom. The kingdom I am establishing right in the midst of this world. You are a part of that plan, not as a pawn, but as a beloved child, trusted and sent. On the path I have set before you, there will be fierce headwinds. There will be days when the darkness feels so thick it clouds even the things you once held certain. There will be voices, both outside and within, whispering that you are not strong enough, that you should quit, that obedience no longer matters in a world gone mad. But in those moments, remember this: I am your strength. And what I have begun in you, I will finish with my own hand. You think you can. With you, 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 with you. Do not let fear dim the vision I have given you. Fear is a cunning shadow, seeping through the smallest cracks of the human heart, weakening steps that were once steady, clouding minds that were once clear. But you were not made to be ruled by fear. You were born to live in the freedom of light, to walk by faith, not by feelings or circumstances. When the world trembles, you must be the one who stands. When others turn back, you must keep going, not by your own strength, but by the unwavering trust that I am with you. You are not permitted to turn your back on the calling within your soul, even when everything around you tempts you to let go. There are burdens only you can carry, missions your soul was woven to fulfill. You are called to be a keeper of the lamp of truth. In an age when truth is distorted and buried, I have set before you the chosen path, the path of faithfulness, of courage, of unconditional love. And though it may not be easy, it is the way that leads to true life, true meaning, and a glory that never fades. The world around you will not cease to pull you away from that path. The noise of ambition, the smooth enticements of deceit, and even the silence of the crowd will rush upon you like waves crashing against the shore. They will say what you're doing is meaningless. They will try to make you doubt yourself, doubt the deep calling within your heart. They will smile with pity, thinking you are wasting your youth, squandering your chance to succeed as the world defines it. But my child, you must not let those voices steer you off course, for my eyes are still upon you, my hand is still holding you, and I, not the world, am the one who defines the worth of your life. You will face opposition, that is certain, for light always unsettles the darkness. Those who are asleep in deception will not welcome the light you carry. They will criticize, they will distance themselves. They may even try to silence your voice. But, my child, opposition is not a sign of failure. It is proof that you are walking in the right direction. It is evidence that your very presence is shaking something deep, and in the midst of all the resistance, you must hold firmly to your faith. Remain steadfast in your loyalty, for it is in those very moments of tension that I will reveal my glory through you in the most powerful way. Do not seek the world's approval. Do not measure your worth by how many stand with you. Do not judge your success by the silence or applause of those around you. Remember, truth has often been nailed to a cross amid the cheers of the crowd. But truth did not die. Truth lives, and lives forever. And you, the one called to carry that truth within, will also live in a life that never fades. My beloved, I know there will be times you feel weak, times when you'll wonder, can I go on? Am I strong enough to finish what the Father has entrusted to me? And in those moments, I want you to remember this. I did not choose you because you were capable. I chose you because I know that with me by your side, you will be enough. I do not need your perfection, I need your faithfulness. I myself will complete the work that must be done, as long as you do not turn away from me. Each time you're pulled toward doubt, return to my word. There you will find unchanging truth. Each time you feel alone, be still and listen for my voice, for I am still whispering to you, even in the chaos. Each time you want to give up, remember the moment I called you, in love, in grace, in a trust I have never withdrawn, and let that covenant of loyalty hold you firm, even when the whole world seems to pull you down. I am training you in endurance. I am refining you in the furnace of trial, not to break you, but to make you shine brighter than ever before. Just as gold must go through fire to be pure, just as gems must be cut to reveal their beauty, you too are being prepared to become a precious vessel in my hand. You will not be the same. You will be stronger, deeper, more radiant, for it is through the tears, through the pain, through the quiet obedience that you are being transformed. My beloved child, along this journey you are walking. Not every smiling face is a friend, and not every sweet word flows from sincerity. I need you to know this, not so you will live in suspicion or close yourself off, but so that you may walk with the alertness and wisdom that come from heaven. For not everyone walking beside you carries the same light within. There are those who have clothed themselves in the appearance of kindness, the facade of loyalty, and the language of love, but their hearts are filled with deceit, schemes, and shadows never brought into the light. They come to you not because of who you are, but because of what you carry. They do not seek the true light, but only wish to benefit from the radiance you bear. When you succeed, they applaud, but inside envy burns. When you walk through trials, they appear concerned, yet silently wait to see if you will fall. And perhaps most painful of all, it may be those you once called close, those you trusted with your whole heart, who are the very ones sowing seeds of doubt, subtly nudging you into danger without your knowing. Oh, my child, I know how that breaks your heart. I know the bitterness of discovering your trust was placed in hearts that were not true. I know the ache when the smiles that once comforted you turn out to be masks hiding betrayal. But hear me. This is not meant to kill your trust, but to purify it, to teach you to see beyond appearances, to listen deeper than words, and to place your full trust in me, the one who never changes, never betrays, and never schemes. I allow you to face this, not to hurt you, but to open your eyes to a harsh but necessary truth. For if you do not see it now, these quiet embers could ignite into flames that destroy the very calling I've placed in your hands. You cannot afford to be so naive that beautiful words deceive your heart. Nor can you afford to be so soft-hearted that you cling to connections I am trying to remove from your life. You are a bearer of fire, and fire always exposes what is false. The light you carry does not only shine into the darkness out there, but it also reveals what is hidden in the circles close to you. Your presence, the truth you live, is a silent indictment to those living double lives. So they will try to silence you, make you doubt yourself, even tempt you to dim your own light, just so they can remain comfortable in their shadows. But my beloved, do not shrink your heart because of this. Do not close the door to true love because of a few masked faces. Do not let a few betrayals push you into bitterness. I have not called you to live with a hardened spirit, but I am calling you to live with discernment. Learn to love without being used. Learn to trust, but through the guidance of my Spirit, not by emotion, but by the wisdom I have placed in your heart. The pain you feel now will not be wasted. I will turn it into a weapon for you, a weapon of compassionate strength with healthy boundaries, a weapon of caution that doesn't harden the heart, a weapon of understanding that does not lose its innocence. You will not become cynical, but refined, not bitter, but mature in love, not defensive, but able to discern what is real and what is false, without relying solely on what the eye can see. And my child, it is in this very moment, when masks fall and hidden things are revealed, that I am reshaping the circle around you. I am removing from you what does not belong to the mission you carry. Relationships built on falsehood cannot survive the next season I am preparing for you, for I am about to lead you into greater things, and that requires purity, not only in your heart but also in the connections closest to you. Let me be the one who protects you from what you cannot yet see. Let me be the one who shows you who your true companions are, not those who speak eloquently, but those who pray for you in silence when no one is watching. Not those who always appear under the spotlight, but the faithful souls in the margins, covering you with selfless love. I will not let you walk alone. I myself will guide your steps. When you ask for clarity, I will give it. When you face betrayal, I will be your refuge. When everyone else walks away, I will remain. And when you no longer know whom to trust, trust in me, for I do not change. Do not let what others do make you lose the beauty within your soul. Do not let their deceit cause you to doubt the goodness that still exists. Instead, let me teach you to love with wisdom, to trust with discernment, and to walk among shadows without ever losing the light within you. You are called to carry truth, and truth will always be resisted, but do not be afraid. I am with you. I am guarding you. I am purifying the atmosphere around you, so that you may enter a new season unburdened by what no longer belongs to you. My beloved child, you have begun to see what lies behind the velvet curtain of this world, haven't you? You've started to sense the gap between words and actions, between the polished surface and the decaying core many are trying to hide. You've realized that some promises are spoken not to be kept, but to purchase your trust. Some handshakes and embraces, though seemingly sincere, conceal a sharp blade aimed at another's back. The loyalty they speak of is often but a cloud of smoke, the love they express no deeper than a shadow. And when you look into their eyes, you see something misaligned, a void, a coldness, something hidden beneath. That is the absence of truth. That is the gap between their words and their lives. It is the evidence that this age is infected by falsehood, a toxin seeping into every alley, every community, every heart. My child, I know there are moments when you feel adrift in these waves. I know there are times you wonder, is anyone real anymore? But I tell you, do not despair. For when the masks begin to fall, the light also begins to shine. And my dear one, this is that moment. This is the time I am using to separate what is true from what is false, what is light from what is darkness, what is life from what is death. You are living in a turning point in the history of souls, a time when lies will no longer find shelter, a time when truth, no matter how long buried, will rise like dawn breaking through the night. I am calling you, open your eyes, not just to see with sight, but to perceive with the Spirit. No longer let appearances deceive your heart. Ask me to give you eyes refined by divine wisdom, for only when you see the world as it truly is can you walk with firmness, unmoved, unshaken by what looks good but hides destruction within. I will cause masks to fall, not only in far-off places, but within the circles closest to you. You will witness the unraveling of things you once admired. You will see those once held up as examples expose their own decay. But do not be afraid. Do not become cynical, for I do not reveal these things to instill fear, but to bring you into freedom. Because only truth can break the chains that bind the soul to deception. Lies have ruled for far too long. They disguised themselves as love but destroyed trust. They wore the garments of righteousness but deceived generations into darkness. They appeared in places of teaching, in politics, in the media, in communities. And more grievously, they even crept into places deemed sacred. But I say to you today, the era of deception is coming to an end, not because humanity can bring it down on its own, but because I, the eternal truth, am rising. I will not allow falsehood to continue governing the earth that I breathed into existence through my love. Truth will no longer be a mere option. It will become the standard. What has been buried will be uncovered. What has been hidden in the hearts of men will be revealed as clearly as writing on the wall. In that moment, only those who walk in the light will be able to stand firm. Those who have lived truthfully, even if mocked, despised, or rejected, will be declared righteous. But those who live double lives, manipulating and deceiving others, will bow before a divine justice that no bribe can influence and no one can escape. My child, this calling may make you feel alone. When you choose to walk in truth, there will be relationships that no longer walk alongside you. Some will turn their backs on you. Some will call you foolish. But do not be disheartened. Do not let your heart grow cold from the wounds. These experiences are not meant to weaken you, but to prepare the way for your growth. Let me remove those who only walked with you in superficial light, and bring into your life those who will hold your hand in the darkness. Those who will pray with you, cry with you, and remain faithful with you until the end. I am calling you out of compromise, to no longer live a life of half-truths and half-lies, to no longer speak my words but live by the world's ways. You are a child of light, and light cannot mingle with darkness. You carry a flame, and that flame must not be extinguished by whispered doubts or the wounds inflicted by those you once loved. Let me heal you, so you can continue to love without being used. Let me wipe away your tears, so you can see the world through the eyes of the one who has seen all and still chooses to love. What I am doing in this generation is not merely a cleansing, but a rebirth, not just an exposing, but a calling home. Those who still hold repentance in their hearts will be saved. Those who still tremble before the truth will be welcomed by me. But those who stubbornly cling to lies as if they were treasures will find those very lies becoming the weight that causes them to fall. My child, prepare your heart. Live truthfully, even if no one else does. Stand firm, even if storms rage around you. For I, the source of all truth, reign, and my kingdom cannot be shaken. The day is coming. a day when light will cover the earth as the waters cover the sea, a day when every knee will bow and every tongue will confess that I alone am truth. You will not regret standing on the side of truth. You will not regret standing on the side of truth. And when everything around you collapses, you will find yourself still standing, not because you are strong, but because your roots have been planted in the solid rock that is me. My beloved child, never forget this. I am the unchanging one, the one who still believes in you, even when the world turns its back. In every moment where you feel alone in the tangled paths of trials, in every anxious heartbeat where you think, I no longer hear, I am there, closer than your breath, quieter than the gentlest wind, and yet more powerful than anything that seeks to hold you back. And I say this once more, so that it may be etched deep within your heart. Put your full trust in me, and do not be afraid to trust your own heart, for I have planted within it the seed of truth, and inscribed upon it a calling that cannot be erased. You think you are weak, too small amidst the wild currents of life. You worry when facing challenges that seem far greater than your strength. But my child, you are seeing yourself from the wrong perspective. You are measuring yourself by the limits the world has drawn, limits whispered to your mind by fear. Let me tell you the truth. You are stronger than you've ever believed. Within you is a fire that cannot be put out, a spirit that cannot be broken, and a faith that can move mountains. Not because you created it, but because I placed it deep within your soul. True strength does not lie in outward brilliance or appearance, but in the ability to remain standing when everything around you is falling apart. And you have stood firm in silence many times. You have overcome trials unseen by others, and it is precisely that quiet endurance that makes you strong. You do not need applause to be valuable, nor recognition to know you are on the right path. All you need is to take the next step, even just one, in the light of truth, and that alone is enough to shake the foundations of darkness. I do not promise you that the road ahead will be smooth, filled with fragrant flowers and endless peace. No, I have not hidden the hardships that await you. But neither do I withhold this truth. With every step you take, I will walk beside you. Not behind you, not watching from afar, but right beside you. My hand in yours, my shoulder next to yours, and my gaze fixed on you with complete understanding. When you are weary, I will be the strength that carries you. When you begin to doubt yourself, I will remind you of who you are in my eyes. And when the world seems at its darkest, it is then that the light I placed within you will burn brighter than ever before. Believe this, every step you take forward is a victory. It does not have to be a grand stride. What matters is that you do not turn back, that you do not surrender. Every time you choose to keep going, the darkness loses a portion of its grip. Every step you take in the light declares that darkness no longer holds power over you. And remember, darkness can never conquer a place where light is present. It only exists where light is absent. So walk on, and the light within you will spread, forcing the shadows to retreat. My dear one, the time has come for you to stop apologizing for your difference. You no longer need to shrink your light to fit into the surrounding darkness. It is time to walk boldly as who you were created to be, not to satisfy the world, but to fulfill the mission I have entrusted to you. You do not need to become someone else. You do not need to conform to the patterns others expect of you. Be wholly yourself, a heart forged by love, a soul refined by truth, a steady light beneath stormy skies. As you walk with unwavering faith, you are not only transforming yourself, you are doing much more. You are paving a way for others, igniting hope in those still wandering, suffocated by the darkness. You may never realize how many lives are stirred awake by your faithful presence. There is no need for speeches or declarations. Your authentic life is enough to move souls. I know there are times when you feel deeply alone, moments when you wonder, does anyone understand me? Is anyone walking this path with me? But the truth, my child, is that I am awakening countless lights like you across the earth. Hearts that beat with the same rhythm, voices that echo the same calling, souls that carry the same ache and the same hope. And in the appointed time, I will bring those flames together. You will see a rising army of light, not loud, not dazzling to the world, but powerful, steadfast, and unshakable. And you are a part of that, a lamp in the night, a keeper of the flame amid the winds, a warrior clothed in faithfulness, wielding the sword of truth and the shield of unshakable trust. So keep going, my beloved. Do not dwell too long on what is behind you. Do not let the darkness of the past overshadow the light of your present. You are no longer in the place where you were once wounded. You are walking toward the land I have promised, a place where the light you carry will blossom into life for many others. I am with you. I believe in you, and I call you not because you are perfect, but because you are willing. Not because you are better than anyone else, but because you dare to believe, to love, to step forward. Every tear you shed, I keep. Every wound you bear, I remember. Every step you take, I watch. And one day you will look back on the road you've walked with a heart full of gratitude, because you will see that no step was wasted, no trial was in vain, and not a single moment did I leave your side. My beloved, in the moments when heaven and earth tremble, when the world around you seems torn from everything once familiar, I call you not to hide, but to rise. A time is coming, and it is drawing near, when everything you've known will be shaken to its roots. Systems that once seemed unshakable will collapse like sandcastles swept away by raging waves. Everything built upon foundations of deception, greed, and pride. None of it will stand. The world will be overturned, and chaos will reach even those places once considered peaceful. Many will be confused, panicked, and fall into despair, for they placed their trust in things that appeared solid but were hollow: wealth, reputation, power, and diluted values. When all of that is swept away, they will have nothing left to cling to. Their hearts will be tossed like a boat without anchor in the storm. But you, whom I have positioned for such a time as this, you must not be afraid. You are to be the one who stands firm in the storm. You are to be the place where others find light when all around them falls into darkness. I know when you hear this, you may feel too small, but that is precisely why I need you to understand. You are not alone. You have me. You have the truth, and that truth is not just a concept. It is a living flame ignited in your heart. It does not tremble before the dark, nor bow to threats. You may not be able to control what happens around you, but you have the power to choose how you respond. And if you choose to walk in truth, you will walk in a strength the world cannot comprehend. A strength that doesn't come from might, but from unshakable faith. I tell you this, the time for compromise has ended. There is no room for half measures, no more time to hide in the gray zones of morality. The time has come for all things to be clearly defined, light or darkness, truth or falsehood, life or death. I did not call you to be neutral. I called you to choose the side of light, even if it makes you feel alone in the crowd. And you will have to choose, not once, but every single day. Every day you will have to choose to live by truth, even when it costs you. To choose love, even when you are wounded. To choose forgiveness, even while your heart still bleeds. And to choose to rise when everything in you wants to lay down and disappear. Facing darkness does not mean fighting it with its own weapons, no. Facing darkness means daring to look it in the eye, without bowing, without trembling, and without becoming complicit. You must not close your eyes to wrong. You must not stay silent in the face of injustice. And you must not shut your ears when truth cries out through the noise of lies. I do not call you to be a judge, but I do call you to be a trumpet blast. And yes, that will sometimes mean being misunderstood, isolated, and rejected. But remember, those who carry light are not always welcomed in a world that loves the dark. The truth, my child, will be the fire that leads your way. It is not always easy to hear. It is not always gentle, but it will set you free. The truth will strip away pretense within you, expose the hidden shadows you tried to conceal, and then heal you with its very honesty. And once you are set free, you will have the power to set others free, not with eloquent words, but through the life you live. A life lived in integrity, in love, in light, more powerful than any sermon ever preached. Let your heart always remain soft soil for truth to take root. Do not let it harden through pain. Do not let it dry out from disappointment. I am doing a new thing in you, a work no one can destroy if you keep walking with me. Every decision you make in the dark will be a declaration of who you truly are. Do not fear failure. Do not fear falling, for I can use what is broken to build what is unshakable. But do not compromise. Do not trade eternal calling for temporary comfort. I know there are days when you're weary from always having to be strong, nights when you wish you didn't have to carry this burden, that I hadn't chosen you. But my child, I chose you because I knew you wouldn't give up. I didn't choose you because you were perfect, but because you were willing. And it is that very willingness that I can use to do great things. When you face the darkness, don't look at its size. Look at my presence within you. I am the one who has overcome the world. And if I dwell in you, then you too will overcome. It's time for you to rise, not with loud words, but with a life that is real. Not to prove anything, but to live true to what I have engraved upon your soul. Let your life be a song of faithfulness, a flame that never goes out. And when others look at you, in the midst of chaos, they will see one thing that never changes: my love, alive and blazing through every breath, every step, every courageous choice you make. You were not called to live hidden. You were chosen to become a sign, a living reminder that even if the whole world loses its way, there are still those who stand firm in truth. And you are one of them. So don't turn back. Don't doubt. Don't delay. You know where you are meant to stand. Step into your position, not with pride, but with fierce humility. For I am right there beside you in every moment. And when all is said and done, when the dust settles, the masks fall, and deception is burned away, you will look back and know You did not compromise, did not turn away, did not run. You stood firm, and that changed a part of the world. There will be days when the weight of the light you carry becomes so heavy it feels like your shoulders can bear nothing more. The revelations I give you, things no human eye has seen, no ear has heard, but that my Spirit has breathed into your soul, will at times shake your very core. They are not knowledge to boast about, but living truths, sharp like a double-edged sword, cutting through the layers of illusion this world has erected to veil its emptiness. And because that light is so real, so powerful, so unlike anything else, there will be days when you feel like you're standing alone in a storm, with no end in sight. You'll look around and see no one who truly understands. What you know will seem worlds apart from how others are living. You'll question everything, not just people, but the very meaning of existence. You'll wonder, why do I see what others don't? Why do I hear what others ignore? Why do I feel things so deeply I want to escape it myself? I know, sometimes it will feel like you're walking along the edge of a cliff, as if one more breath and you'll fall into a bottomless pit of exhaustion, doubt, and loneliness. But my dear child, I long for you to understand this. That edge is not the end, it is the beginning. The beginning of a deep, sacred transformation that only those brave enough to face themselves and face the truth can enter. It is not a pit to consume you, but the threshold of a new depth, a place where your eyes will open wider than ever before, where your heart will be reshaped by my own hands, and where you will stop living as someone who merely knows about me. True understanding is not born from comfort, but from the deepest confrontations, where you no longer cling to old knowledge, nor deceive yourself with things that sound reassuring. It is there, in the space between collapse and restoration, that I will meet you most completely. I will speak to you in a voice no one else can hear. I will teach you things no book or teacher could ever impart. Because I don't just want to give you words. I want to carve them deep into your soul so that you live, breathe, and move like someone who knows without doubt. I do not belong to this. It is the beginning of a completely different way of life, no longer driven by fleeting emotions, nor swayed by the praise or rejection of the world. You will no longer live to be accepted, but to please the one who has chosen you. You will no longer need to prove your worth, for you know you were born for a purpose far greater than any human acclaim. You will live gently, yet deeply, simply, yet powerfully, quietly, yet with an influence beyond measure. You will learn to see others not through the eyes of judgment, but through the eyes of mercy. For you have known what it feels like to stand at the edge, and you will become the one who extends a hand to those trembling on the same brink. You will not teach them with theory, but with the very wounds you once carried. Wounds that I have touched and healed, so they may become signs of a love that never abandons. My beloved, do not fear the questions. Do not fear the long, restless nights. Do not even fear the moments when you can no longer hear me, for even in silence I am working. Like a seed buried deep in the ground, unseen, unknown, unnoticed, and yet within, new life is forming. At the time I have appointed, that life will break through the earth and rise into the light, not by its own strength, but by the power of the one who sowed it at the right time, in the right place. My child, if you feel like you're standing at the edge, that is not something to be ashamed of or discouraged by. On the contrary, rejoice in your heart, for it means you are at a sacred turning point. Only those whom I trust are led to that place. I do not bring anyone to the edge just to watch them fall. I lead them there to teach them how to fly. And so it will be with you. You will not fall. You will not break. You will not be destroyed. For I am there, right at the edge, with my arms wide open. When you have nothing left to hold on to, you will hold on to me. When you no longer know who you are, I will remind you of the name I called you by from the beginning. When you have no strength left to walk, I will lift you up with the very power of the Spirit who lives within you. And then you will see that what you once thought was the end will become the beginning of a new life. A life no longer led by fear, but by trust. No longer confined by what others think of you, but driven by what I know of you. A life where every step carries eternal purpose. Every word speaks life, and every breath becomes a declaration. I belong to the light. So, my child, if today your heart is heavy, if today you feel like you're about to collapse, look up. See me, the one who is still here, still loving, still waiting, and still believing in you more than you believe in yourself. For at the end of you is the beginning of me. And the journey ahead will be a journey of courageous steps, not without tears, but always full of hope. For you do not walk alone. I will walk with you. And every step you take will be a step where heaven touches earth, where light shatters darkness, and where love triumphs over all things. My beloved, when you walk into the light of truth and choose to live by what I speak, you will come face to face with an inescapable reality. Not everyone will be ready to receive that light. Not everyone will rejoice when the truth is spoken. On the contrary, there will be those who rise up in resistance. Souls so accustomed to the darkness that they fear the light as one fears a fire that burns away their protective shell. They will not oppose you because you are wrong, but because you are right. Not because you hurt them, but because your presence no longer allows them to deceive themselves. These ones will not stay silent. They will wrestle. They will scream. They will try to suffocate every word you speak, as though your voice has touched a wound they never allowed to heal. They will seek to deny the truth you carry, to blur the light in your eyes with accusations, judgments, and even lies. But my child, do not let your heart tremble. Do not let their words make you doubt who you are. For truth, once sown, can never remain buried forever. It is like a sacred seed, and even if trampled, it will find its way to rise again, sprouting in the driest of lands. You must understand this. The world's reaction is not the measure of truth's worth. Sometimes, the more opposition there is, the more it proves that truth is touching the deepest part of their souls. Pain does not come because the truth is wrong, but because it forces people to confront themselves, and few have the courage to do so. I did not call you to please the world. I did not choose you to be reasonable in the eyes of the crowd. I placed you here to bear witness. Witness through your life, your love, and your unwavering resolve amid the weight of many pressures. They will try to silence the truth. They will attack the one who carries it, as if by destroying you they can erase what shames them. But what they do not understand is this: the truth does not come from you. It does not originate from man, and thus it cannot be destroyed by human hands. You don't need to be the loudest voice. You only need to be the true one. For even a quiet, sincere word can pierce through the thickest of walls. Truth does not need embellishment. It doesn't need silk wrappings. It only needs to be lived, to be revealed through your life, imperfect but faithful. And you will see, when you live in truth, your very presence becomes a mirror. Some will avoid it. Some will try to shatter it, but others will pause, look into it quietly, and begin to change. Truth, even when persecuted, has a voice of its own. It speaks not through noise, but through quiet transformation. It doesn't always shift the world through loud revolutions. Sometimes, it changes a mother who chooses not to abandon her child, a father who decides to come home, a young man who turns away from a path of deceit, a friend who chooses to say sorry instead of swallowing his pride. These changes, though small, are the foundation of a new world, a world I am quietly building within the hearts of those who carry the truth like you. My beloved, do not measure your impact by applause or by numbers. The truth you carry may not be welcomed, but it is creating ripples that the eyes cannot see. I am using you like an underground stream, seeping into every crack of a world that has long forgotten how to listen to what is true. And one day, from these streams, a new spring will rise. Not loud but mighty, not showy but unstoppable. You may grow weary. There may be nights when you ask me, why must I endure all this just for speaking the truth? And I will answer you with peace within your soul. A peace no one can give but me. You will feel a deep joy that the world cannot offer, and that is not tied to circumstances. Joy that comes from knowing you are walking rightly, living rightly, and living for something greater than yourself. Trust me, my dear one. Hold fast to the truth, as you would to a precious pearl amidst the dust of life. Do not let insults shake you. Do not let others' silence make you believe your words are meaningless. In the stillness, some souls are being stirred. In the resistance, some hearts are beginning to tremble. And with every step you take, truth is being sown like seeds. Seeds that will not die, but will grow in the time I have appointed. And when that day comes, the day when light is no longer denied, the day when truth is received in glory, you will look back and see every word you spoke, every act you carried out, every time you chose to stand firm in the storm. None of it was in vain. You will see a new world, reborn from the courage of those who did not yield to the darkness, those who believed that even if silenced, the truth would still echo. And you are one of them. You are the echo in the silence, the light in the night, a fragment of heaven placed in the midst of this earth. Keep walking, my beloved. Speak, live, and love, as if nothing can stop you, because truly, nothing can. For you carry the truth, and that truth is eternal. Prepare your soul for what is coming, for the hour is near, and the time of purification is no longer far off. Like a great wind sweeping suddenly through the forest, without warning, without delay, the cleansing from heaven will pour down upon this earth with a force no power can resist. It will not come slowly or gently, but swiftly, like lightning that tears across the sky, splitting truth from falsehood, dividing light from darkness, exposing every concealment within the human heart. No one can remain forever beneath the mask they wear. No falsehood can endure under the flame of truth. What was once carefully hidden, dark intentions, distorted deeds, smooth words cloaking greed and pride, will be exposed without mercy. I will no longer allow such coverings to deceive the world, nor let souls continue to slumber in illusion. Now is the time for all things to be brought into the light, for truth to be restored, and for justice to be returned to its rightful place. Can you imagine a world with nothing left to hide? A world where every disguise is stripped away, where every word must reflect the heart, where no one can live a double life without facing the consequences. This is not some distant fantasy, it is what is soon to come. And when it comes, there will be nowhere to hide. No status, no reputation, no wealth, no power will shield the soul from the blazing light of truth. All will bow, all will face it. Those who once deemed themselves wise, who manipulated others with lies and cloaked themselves in moral appearances, will tremble. They built fortresses of deceit in the hearts of men, led countless souls astray, wore garments of righteousness while their hearts rotted within. But in this cleansing fire, every brick they laid in falsehood will be consumed by my light. They will have to face what they once denied, that truth cannot be twisted forever. But my child, in the midst of that shaking, while the world trembles and crumbles, a path will still be opened. Not for those wise in the ways of the world, but for the souls who chose to live rightly, live purely, live truthfully, even when it cost them, even when it meant going against the flow. That path is not glittering, not loud, not adorned in luxury, but it is the only path that leads to life, to true freedom, and to my unshakable kingdom. Those who walk it may have once been mocked, misunderstood, cast aside, but on that day they will be lifted up. They will stand firm when all else falls. To the righteous, not in word only, but in life, I will open a way through the chaos. Though every other door may slam shut, mine will remain wide open. Though the world rejects them, I will call them by name. Though people see them as weak, I will clothe them with strength from heaven. They will be the ones who lead in the night, the unshakable pillars, while everything else is swept away. My child, this is why I have always told you, remain faithful, live righteously, and choose the truth even when it leaves you alone. Because in this very hour, the choices you make will shape the future you step into. This is no longer a time for ambiguity, no longer a season to live in the middle. This is the time to choose a side. This is the time to take your place, the one your soul truly belongs to. This purification is not coming to punish the weak, but to put an end to compromise done in the name of faith. It is not here to destroy those who have stumbled, but to strip away the disguises, the hypocrisy, and the apathy long hidden behind masks of goodness. It is fire not to consume everything, but to cleanse, to refine, to make the gold more pure. If you have chosen the light, be at peace. Even if you tremble, even if your heart is afraid, you will not be destroyed. If you have chosen the truth, keep walking. Though you are not perfect, I will cover you with grace, for true humility will be lifted up by me, and the repentant soul will never be cast away from my embrace. Let your heart be still in the midst of the storm. Let your trust in me be the anchor for your soul in this time when all other foundations are shaking. For when the world crumbles, my kingdom stands unshaken. And when everything you once knew changes, my love will remain just as it was in the beginning. I know there will be moments when you feel like you're walking against the current, misunderstood, abandoned. But do not lose faith, for the day will come when those who now mock the truth will search for it in tears, and those who have remained faithful, like you, will be the ones to show them the way home. So, O child of light, be steadfast. Do not let the trembling of the earth shake you. Do not let the collapse of the world make you question the worth of what you have chosen. I am the faithful one. I do not promise what I will not fulfill. And I have promised. Those who live for the truth will not be ashamed when the light floods this earth. The purification is coming, and within it the old will be swept away, but new things will be born. And you, if you remain faithful, will be the one standing on a new land. No more darkness, no more disguise, no more fear. Only light and love and eternal life from me. In the days ahead, you will enter a season where things will no longer be as easily discerned as before. Right and wrong will not always wear clear shapes. Good and evil will no longer be separated by appearance. The enemy will not come with a fierce face, but with a gentle voice, with sweet words, with a familiar face, to plant seeds of doubt, to distort the truth, and little by little, to lead you away from the path I have set before you. There will be those who seek to manipulate you, not by force, but with reasoning that seems sound, with feigned concern, under the guise of love, friendship, even morality. They will say things that soften your heart, that make you think you are doing the right thing. But behind their words lies a hidden agenda, to make you question the light within you, to make you doubt the very wisdom I planted in your soul from the beginning. They may not fully realize that they are being used as instruments of deception, but deception, once it infiltrates the mind, can claim the name of truth. And those who carry it, sometimes the very ones you once cherished and trusted, may, whether unknowingly or deliberately, pull you away from your true self. They will offer shortcuts, easier options, paths without suffering or conflict. But my child, the path I set before you is not the path of ease. It is the path of growth, of refinement, and of truth. Undiluted and unwavering. That is why I do not merely ask you to turn away from evil. I call you to discern. Discernment is not based on emotions, nor on sympathy, but on the spiritual sensitivity I have placed within you. I have planted a light in your heart, a wisdom not of man, but from my very spirit. That wisdom will alert you when words seem right, but do not come from the true source. It will resound within your heart like an alarm bell when someone tries to coax you into compromising your principles, even slightly. Listen to that whisper, even when it goes against the voice of the crowd. Choose to stand with the light, even when it makes you feel alone. You will find that, when you walk the right path, you may not always have companions, but you will have me, and you will see those who once mocked or dismissed you may one day return, when they realize you preserved what they had lost. I know you have grown weary of being on guard. You've asked yourself why trust has become a luxury in this world. But my child, it is because you were chosen to live differently, to love differently, to walk differently, and so I awaken you early, not so you may live in suspicion or close your heart, but so you may guard the light with conscious intention. I do not want you to live in fear. I want you to live in awareness, in the gentle strength of one who knows who they are, where they come from, and where they are going. Trust me, my beloved. Trust in my guidance that never errs. Even when you don't understand everything happening around you, even when my presence feels distant, keep walking in faith. I will not forsake you. I never turn away from those who remain faithful to my calling. I know your name. I know the scars you carry within. I know the fears you've never dared to speak. And still, I choose you. Not because you are perfect, but because you are willing to learn how to trust. You do not need to know everything. You only need to know that I am real. That you were not born to be lost, but to be found in the light I shine upon you. That the path I've marked for you is not the glamorous road of fame, but the profound road of transformation. On that journey, every trial, every moment you stand at a crossroads and choose what is right, though hard, though painful, is etching into your soul a strength that cannot be stolen. The wisdom I have placed in you is not meant to be hidden. Use it as your inner compass, steering you away from words that sound sweet but are hollow. And when you are confused, when the voice inside you is drowned by many others, return to me. Be still in my presence and ask, Lord, what is the path you have for me? Trust in the path I have prepared for you, though it may seem lonely at times, unclear in certain seasons, or steep and difficult to climb. It is a real and true path. It is not a road that leads to fleeting glory, but one that leads to a life of fullness, a life in which you are known, loved, and used as a vessel to bring transformation to the world around you. There will be days when you feel like you are going against the flow. But I tell you this, you are the small stream running upstream that will slowly erode an entire system that has decayed from within. You are not a victim. You are one who has been sent. And if you continue to walk with faith, you will see that those who once tried to lead you astray will no longer have power over you, for the truth within you is stronger than any lie spoken against you. My beloved, do not be afraid. You are not lost. You are being led. And I, the Lord your God, will go before you, leveling every mountain and opening doors no one can shut. Be steadfast, be watchful, and keep believing, for your journey will not end in uncertainty or fear, but will be fulfilled in glory, upheld by my very hand. Now, my precious one, as you stand on the threshold of the unknown, I want you to hold this in your heart as a living word. Truth is coming, not as a fleeting whisper, but as holy waves rising again and again, flooding every dimension of life, breaking through barriers, and sweeping away the dust of deception that has long buried the soul of humanity. This truth will not come as a theory to be debated, nor as a sermon crafted by clever tongues. It will come as light piercing the darkness, as living water pouring into dry and barren places, as the first breath in one who was thought to be dead. And when it comes, it will unsettle what once seemed stable, challenge false values, expose hypocritical patterns, and awaken souls who have long slumbered in the spiral of self-satisfaction. You may not always understand it when truth touches you. Some revelations will shake you, stir inner conflict, and make you question, is this truly from you, Lord? But, my child, trust in me, the one who planted within you the ability to discern not through human intellect, but by the leading of the Spirit. Even if you don't fully grasp it at first, even if the light feels too bright for your eyes, believe that it is I who am guiding you. Hold on to truth as if it were the only rope in a vast and stormy sea. For it is that truth which will lead you to the shore of freedom your heart has long yearned for. Freedom is not the liberty to live however you please. True freedom is living no longer bound by fear, by the weight of your past, or by the lies you once mistook for truth. I am breaking every chain that has held the human heart captive, chains of insecurity, shame, greed, and pride disguised as wisdom. These things have caused many to walk through life as though already dead, numb to true life, no longer seeking anything greater than themselves. But now I am breathing a mighty wind into every hidden corner of the human soul, to shake, to tear down, and to set free. And the world will no longer be able to continue as it was. That which was accepted simply because it was familiar will be overturned. Corrupt structures will collapse, not to create chaos, but to bring liberation. Humanity will begin to see themselves as they truly are, not through masks or titles, but through the eyes of the one who created them. And when they see, they will long to be restored, to be healed, and to live differently. But in the midst of the turmoil, you must remember what matters most. Do not let yourself be swept away by the noise of the world. Do not let the chaotic sounds, the loud yet hollow voices, the opinions laced with fear and prejudice cloud your mind. There are countless voices out there, each claiming to know what is right, each wanting you to follow them. But not all of them speak from truth. Some are illusions. Some are echoes of wounds that have yet to be healed. Some are the voices of fear, desperately trying to find safety and control. I am not in those shouts. I do not dwell in noise and chaos. Remember, Elijah did not hear me in the strong wind, nor in the earthquake, nor in the blazing fire, but in the still, small voice. And so it is today. I am still speaking to you, not through the convulsions of the world, but through a quiet whisper deep within your heart. That voice is the gentle light in the dark, the stream slipping through the cracks of stone, the peace that surpasses all understanding. And it is there that you will find me. Learn to return inward, to the place where my voice never fades. Whenever you feel lost, be still. Whenever you feel overwhelmed, sit down. Whenever the pressure of the world tries to mold you into its image, return to the silence within, where only you and I dwell, and ask, Lord, what is your truth for me in this moment? And you will hear it. Not always a pleasant answer, not always what you hoped, but always what you need in order to live, truly, deeply, and enduringly. My beloved, know this. You are not only a receiver of truth, you are a bearer of it. You are an instrument through which truth is revealed, not by loud proclamations, but by the life you live. A life built on firm foundation, a life that listens more to whispers than to applause, a life faithful in the small things, yet unshaken by the mighty winds. Truth will come in waves, and at times you will feel as though you're being overwhelmed, but do not fear. I do not let the waves sweep you away, but allow them to wash the dust from your soul so that you may rise, stronger, purer, and more radiant. And when the wave passes, you will see you are no longer the same. You have been renewed, refined, and made ready to be one of those who restore what the world has broken down. Walk boldly, my child. Hold tightly to the whisper within as your compass that never misguides. Live as one chosen to carry the truth, not with sharp words, but with a tender heart, not with power, but with humble surrender. For this truth, through you, will ignite a generation, and once truth is revealed, nothing can stop freedom from flooding the earth. I am moving, my beloved. Keep listening, keep walking, keep trusting, for the waves of truth are coming, not to drown you, but to draw you into the deep, where true freedom begins, where I am, and where you become all that I have destined you to be. My beloved child, in a world drowning in darkness, where light seems hidden beneath the thick dust of deception, confusion, and fear, the light within you still burns bright, not because you are stronger than others, nor because you are flawless, but because you have chosen to hold fast to the sacred bond between you and me. You have chosen what few dare to choose. You have chosen to stay, not because you lack the chance to leave, but because your heart knows. Only in me do you truly live. Amidst countless alluring yet hollow invitations, amidst doors that seem to lead to blessing but hide snares within, you have chosen to remain in my ways. You have chosen not to take shortcuts, not to trade truth for fleeting convenience. You have known loneliness, longed for recognition, and carried heavy questions through the night. Yet you did not let those things pull you away from me. You chose to listen not to the noise of the world, but to the gentle whisper within your soul. My voice. I have witnessed every silent step you've taken, every time you turned away from what was wrong, even when no one was watching. Every time you rejected sweet-sounding lies, because deep down, your heart knew. Nothing can replace the truth I have sown in you. You may have stumbled, doubted, even wept from exhaustion, but you did not leave the light. You did not compromise, and that, your faithfulness, is what sets you apart, what keeps the flame within you burning, no matter how thick the surrounding darkness becomes. You did not kneel before empty promises. You did not bow to the pressure to conform. The calls of fame, power, and ease, the things this world celebrates, you have turned away from, not because you were never tempted, but because you chose something higher. You chose to keep your heart pure, to live slowly so you wouldn't lose yourself in the whirlwind of counterfeit success. And because of that, the bond between you and me has never been severed. It has not been fractured. No matter how many trials came, no matter how many things tried to wedge themselves between us, this bond is woven through trust. Through the quiet nights you still chose to pray, through the days you did not see me, yet remained faithful. My child, it is that light, the light born from your unwavering connection with me, that is your true source of life. It is not an artificial light produced by effort or appearance. It is a light nurtured by truth, ignited by love, and sustained by quiet yet unshakable faithfulness. It is a light that cannot be extinguished by darkness, stolen by lies, or dimmed by the brightest of temptations. I know there are times when it feels like that light is just a tiny flame in a vast clouded sky. But that very flame, small, faithful, enduring, has the power to shake the darkness, because it is not your light, but mine, shining through you. As long as your heart remains turned toward me, as long as you dwell in truth, that light will never fade. It will keep burning, keep shining, and keep softening the hearts of those still searching for something real in a world full of illusions. Because you have chosen me, I have chosen you, not just to be preserved, but to become a preserver for others. You are not only illuminated, but a bearer of light to places that have never seen it. And I know it's not always easy. Sometimes you will feel like a lone candle in a storm, a faint voice among a noisy crowd. But my child, as long as you keep the fire alive, even just a little, I will use that flame to ignite hope for an entire generation. The eternal truth you cling to, the one the world mocks, the one many call outdated, is the unshakable foundation that will never be swept away. When all else collapses, when every counterfeit foundation is exposed, that truth will remain. and those who have chosen to live in it, like you, will not be lost. They will stand firm through the greatest shakings. They will be the ones who survive not just in body, but in soul. They will be the lamps still burning when all others have gone out. My beloved child, never think that your choices are small. Every time you choose faithfulness, every time you choose the light over the shortcut, every time you hold on to truth when no one stands with you, all of it is writing the eternal story I am unfolding through your life. No act done in the light is ever meaningless. No prayer whispered in the middle of the night is ever wasted. No tear of loyalty falls without being gathered by me. Keep living in that sacred connection, my dear one. Let nothing come between you and me. Do not let the voices of the world drown out the gentle whisper within your soul. Let that light continue to guide your path, not only for yourself, but for those still groping in the dark. And know this: because you have chosen me, I will always choose you. I will never leave you, and I will lead you to the place where the light never fades. You are the keeper of the flame, the one who does not abandon their post in the night, the soul that has chosen truth over convenience. And because of that, you will see, no matter how thick the darkness becomes, the light within you, the light of unbroken union between you and me, will continue to shine, not only for the present, but for generations to come. And I, the one who called you from the beginning, will remain with you. In every step, every breath, every moment you choose to keep believing. For once you are in me, the light you carry is not just a lamp for one day. It is part of the eternal light that will never be extinguished. Even while your light still burns brightly, even while the bond between your soul and mine remains unshaken, you must know this: the enemy never sleeps. It watches from afar, waiting for every opportunity, every crack in your heart, to slip in like a wisp of smoke, and from there ignite doubt, quiet but persistent voices, hoping to shake what you once held firm. It does not attack with sword or spear, but with subtle whispers, cloaked in reason, emotion, and the alluring invitation of the modern world. It will try to tell you that your faithfulness is naive, unrealistic, outdated in a society that worships so-called personal freedom. It will say there's no need to sacrifice anymore, that you shouldn't deny yourself to live for something greater, that no one remains loyal to truth, so why should you? It will do everything it can to turn your devotion into a burden, to make you wonder, am I being too rigid? Am I lost in a world that no longer shares my values? But my child, I call to you, do not be deceived. Recognize the schemes of the enemy, for it does not come to set you free, but to imprison your soul with empty promises. It comes not to give life, but to steal the most precious thing you carry: the light, the truth, the life that comes from me. The enemy is a master of disguise. He does not appear in frightening form, but cloaks himself in what seems harmless. His temptations may not be loud or obvious. They may come in the form of a reasonable suggestion, a harmless relationship, or a beautiful dream. You may not see claws, but you will hear the whisper. Just this once. You deserve an easier life. No one's watching, go ahead. Be watchful, my child. For temptation does not only come in clear wrongs, but often hides in things that seem good, but are not from me. There are things labeled convenient, progressive, or wise, but are in truth a trade of the sacred for temporary ease. There are paths that seem smooth, but lead to the abyss. There are voices that sound like truth, but dim the soul. The truth is this: the enemy never stops trying to lead you astray, not by force, but by allure. He knows that if he can make you question what you once believed, he has already planted the most dangerous seed. That doubt, if nurtured, will grow into indifference. And when your heart grows cold, when the light no longer burns as it once did, he will slowly extinguish it without you even realizing. But my child, I will not let you face this alone. I have given you wisdom. I have planted within you a sacred whisper to discern between what is true and what is false, what is right and what is wrong, what leads to life and what leads to destruction. Every time you return, listen and keep your heart tender and humble. You will sense which voice is mine and which one beckons from the shadows. So guard your heart and stay alert. Examine everything you receive, whether it's an idea, a piece of advice, or an important decision. Ask me at every step. Let me be the one who searches your heart. Let my light shine into every hidden corner, even those you have not yet discovered within yourself. Never make choices based solely on fleeting emotions. Never let impatience push you into the whirlpool of wrong decisions. I know you're weary. I see the days when you strive to do what's right, even when it feels like no one else around you cares anymore. I know there are moments when you ask, why must I keep being faithful when others live so freely without it? But my beloved, faithfulness is not a burden. It is the mark of the chosen ones, those who dare to live differently in a world lost in gray. And because you have chosen to live in truth, I am using you to shine light for others. They may not say it aloud, but they are watching you. They may not admit it, but their souls recognize the light in you is real. And one day they will come searching for the very thing you have carried throughout your journey: the truth, the life, the evidence of my presence in a flawed human being who chose to believe and to keep their heart steadfast. Oh, my child, when temptation comes, do not fear. Face it with the courage of one who knows where they belong. Say this: I was bought with a great price. I cannot trade what is most precious for a fleeting comfort. Say this: I do not live to please the world, but to delight the one who called me by name. And every time you choose what is right, I will be there, rejoicing, smiling, strengthening you. Remember this: no temptation, no matter how subtle, can shake a soul anchored in true love. And you, yes you, are that soul. Refined by trials, preserved through storms, and still walking strong toward eternal life. Now offer me your sincere prayer. Dear Lord, please grant me a strong heart that does not tremble before the truth, even when it brings me pain. Help me to receive your will with obedience and not turn away halfway. I know this world is drowning in darkness, but please keep me steadfast in your light, so I will not miss the divine purpose you prepared for me since the beginning of time. Lord, in a world filled with deception and moral decay, grant me eyes to see the truth, ears to hear your voice, and the courage not to run from trials. Protect me from the deceit of the hypocrite, from the fear of betrayal, and from the whispers that make my soul doubt the mission you have entrusted to me. Lord, when the world turns its back on truth, help me remain faithful. When those who pretend to love try to deceive me, grant me discernment. When I find myself alone in the night, remind me that the light I carry does not come from me, but from you, and that no darkness can extinguish it. Lord, guard my soul from collapse when the weight of truth becomes too much to bear. Give me strength to face betrayal, courage to walk through the storm, and a whole heart to stand firm when everything around me falls apart. Lead me through the night, so that your light may be revealed through my life. Lord, I know you have called me in this dark hour not to run away, but to rise up. Grant me a spirit without fear, feet that do not falter, and a faith that does not waver. When the enemy tries to bend the truth, help me be a voice for righteousness, not abandoning the path you have set for me, even in the face of opposition. Lord, help me not to lose my purpose because of the sweet temptations of this world. When the hearts of those around me grow hard, keep my heart soft in your hands. Even if the truth leaves me lonely, help me embrace it like a living flame, so I may become a light to those blind in the darkness. Lord, when the time of purification comes, keep me from trembling. When all masks fall away, when the world is exposed for what it truly is, let me not be swept up in panic, but stand firm in faith. Make me an anchor in the storm, so that through my life your light shines unfading, even as darkness spreads around me. Lord, may you be the light that guides my every step. Teach me to discern between truth and lies, light and shadow, so I will not lose my way in this world full of temptation. Lead me on the path of righteousness, where your truth is a solid foundation, and your love and justice are a compass that never fails. I offer this prayer in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen. If you love the Lord, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss any of the life-giving messages from God. Together, we will grow in faith and live a life fully rooted in His love. Amen.